Okay, all right. So I guess you're live. Yes. Okay. So hello everyone. Good afternoon to all of you. And in today's session, this is the first session of in the series of Cooking Blinder Festival. So in the first session, we going to look into Git and GitHub and version controlling tool and all about it. So if you are a beginner who don't know about Git or GitHub or any other thing, then this is the session for you. And in this session, we going to look how to install Git from from starting, how to set up all these things, then how to make a repository in the GitHub, and then how to fetch that repository, how to contribute to someone's repository and all those stuff. So yeah, I mean, I would suggest that all of you just take time, make a GitHub account first of all if you're not already have that. Okay, so yeah, we'll start with this session. Okay, so this is this is how my GitHub repository looks like. I mean, profile. My GitHub profile looks like. So before moving to the session and before doing all this stuff, let me tell you that why we use Git and GitHub, and in general why we use version controlling. So previously what happened was, previously people don't use decentralized version controlling tool. They used to handle all the files by themselves. Like yeah, let's suppose if they wanted to build some project, then what they used to do is that uh, they make a separate version in their local repository, and they used to pass that folder to another. So this is how they used to do that. But in this particular case, what happened is that, let's suppose at any particular time, if you made any particular mistake, then there is no way to go back, right? I mean, let's suppose you added some new feature in your project, and now your project currently gets stuck or currently gets crashed, and there is no way you can pull back all the features or commits you added that. So this is where the Git, or in general the version controlling uh, system helps us, because what this version controlling system do is that they helps us to manage our history of commits. Now, what is commit is basically, it is the track. Each commit head tracks the other commit, and this forms a whole tree. I'm not going in detail. I don't want to make this thing very, very difficult to understand. But in general, commit is basically the information related to what things change, by whom it is changed, and where it is changed in the project. So what features do Git provide is that, by using Git is basically distributed version controlling system. Now, what is distributed? We will also look into that. And okay, in the Git, we can track all this stuff that we did till now in the project. We can make different branches. Now, what is branches? Branches is basically the different trees, or you can say versions of the commits. Right now, I am not willing or wanted to go in details of this thing, because I don't wanted to make this difficult. So in general, Git helps you to maintain the versions of your particular project. And what is GitHub? GitHub, most of the people think that Git and GitHub are two same things, but it's not. it's completely different. Like GitHub is a platform where you host your project, where you host your repository of the Git. Now, what is repository? Again, you don't have to worry. It's very simple. Like, uh, just for now, you can say that repository is a folder where you store all the code. It's not completely that true, but for now, you can understand for simplicity that repository is something where you store all your source code, and this repository you host to the GitHub. GitHub is the platform where it provides different services. There is a lot of services GitHub provide individually, and there are other platforms too, like GitLab, then Bitbasket, GitHub, which provides the similar services to host our GitHub repository to the server. So we'll see all those things in detail. Uh, yeah, so let's get started. Let's first start with the installation of the Git, right? So in order to install Git, all you have to do is that you have to go to the, just a second, just wait a minute. I'll be back in a second. Okay, so yeah. So in order to install Git, all you have to do is that you have to search Git download, and in the first link you'll get the latest version of Git. If you are using Windows, then you have to download the Windows version. If you are using the Mac, then Mac. Currently, I'm using the Windows version, so I'll download the Windows version of Git. Okay, so I already installed, but I'll show you how to install Git. Yeah. So okay, so one more thing is that handling Git command. Git command is something like it is a command which you use to give instruction to your Git version controlling tool to do the task for you. There are different commands, Git commands like Git commit, Git push, Git status, and all the stuff. We will see all this thing in detail in a while. So let's first install Git. Okay, so if you are already installed, that's completely fine. But if you are not already installed, then install Git with me. So I would suggest all of you that attend this session with your laptop so that you can do all this thing with me. And if you have any doubts, you can put that in the comment box also. So it's almost download. Let's install Git first, and then we will move forward to Git and GitHub. Okay, so it's in. mm, okay, so the installation of Git in Windows version, it's very simple. You have to download this particular set of file, and over here all the terms and condition is given. You have to read all these things, and over here they shown that if you wanted to make on desktop icon, then you can do that, or if you wanted to install Git GUI, then you can do that. So what Git GUI is, in Git GUI you don't have necessarily needs to type all the Git commands. The GUI works for you. So I'm going to install that here, and over here you can see what different editor you wanted to use. So I'm currently setting it as default. You can choose your particular editor as well. That's not a problem. So let's next. Okay, so this is like this configuration you can choose accordingly. Like if you wanted to, whenever you create new project, then by default get set that name as a master, right? Initial branch as a master name. Now, what is branch and all the stuff, we'll look into that later. But for now, just see that whenever you create new project in Git, it will name as a master if you select this option. But if you wanted to name something different, let's suppose main or initial or any other thing, then you have to select this option. Okay. Uh, so let's select new. I'll select all the default settings because we don't have to do any custom things in the Git. We just have to contribute to GitHub repository. So that is the reason why I'm selecting all the uh, uh, default settings. So I'll select this. Then use OpenSSH. Yes, I wanted to use that. Then OpenSSH next. You have to do all. You can read all this thing and select accordingly to your need. Okay. So next. Then all next. I'm going to do all this next thing, and over here, I'm going to select install, and then it will start installing the Git. So if you have any previous version of Git, then it will remove that previous version and it will install the new version. Okay. So let it be done. Okay, so Git is installed perfectly in our machine. There is no error. We can launch our Git Bash also. Git Bash is basically the command line. So here you can see that admin has been open in the command line. So I'll close it for now. You can now for seeing whether our Git is completely installed or not. You can come to the normal CMD command prompt. And to check whether your Git is installed properly or not, all you have to do is that git -hyphen version, and you will get the current version of it. So if you get any error other than this line, then that means your Git is not properly installed. You have to maybe set up the Git again. So yeah. So the next thing that we'll do is that making a GitHub account. So I assume that all of you already have the account, but if you don't have GitHub account, then I would suggest that you make a new account. It's very simple that you just have to put your email address and password, and it will create a new account. So this is how your GitHub website will look. All you have to do is that go to the sign up page, put your email address and your password, and it will install. It will create a new account. So I will sign into my previous account. So I'll give you 1 minute to make your own account if you don't have already. So make your own account. Till then, I'll wait. Okay. Okay. So I assume that you all made your account in the GitHub. So when you first come to your account, this is not how your account will look. I added few stuff from my side to this account. So this is my basic bio and all the stuff, and this is 600 contribution that I did from last year. It's very basic, nothing fancy here. And all the projects that these are the pin projects. So these are the projects that I customly pin to show everyone that these are the projects that I'm really proud of. So if you hosted few projects in your GitHub, you can show that here. And I'm just giving a basic overview of GitHub for now. And over here, You can see all the contribution activities, like your previous history of contribution, whichever organization you applied to and what things you did till now. These are public so that anyone can check your contribution and other stuff. So that is the one thing that I personally like the most. And yeah, and in the homepage of the GitHub, you will see all the repositories and the recent PRs that you did, and the other information related to the people you follow. So that's about the GitHub and all the PRs that you did. Like you can see here, I did 93 PRs till now, and 93 PRs are merged and 4 PRs are still open. So, and how much issues you created and solved, all you can see here. So, okay, so let's start with some basic tasks with Git and GitHub. Like we'll do some basic tasks like creating a repository, then adding some files to it from GitHub. Then we'll add some files from local repository or from our local machine. So I'll create very a test repository. So as I said, test is basically like your project where you store all this information. So I'll go set it public test two. I will add one README file over here for now and create. So it will create a new repository in your account. So that's how you can create your own repository. Now this particular repository, or you can say project, is now hosted on GitHub server, so that anyone can view this particular project. Anyone can pull or take this code. Currently, it doesn't have any code; it just have a README file. But we will add something to it to just for sample. So let's add few files from GitHub only. You can add files from the GitHub as well. So all these things you can see. Don't worry about this thing. We'll has you work with the GitHub, you'll know all this thing, like wiki is for documentation purpose, security is for all the workflows and all the stuff. Insight is for all the previous history of your contributors and their traffic, who view your repository and all the stuff. Setting is for maintaining your this current repository and its setting. Pull request. So pull request is basically all the code or basically the pull request that other contributors submitted to your particular repository. So this is basically like other people made their own sample code and they wanted their sample code to merge into your particular repository. So that's where the pull request works. So we'll see that how to do our own pull request as well in a while. And issues is basically like what are different issues that this repository have. So you can create your own issues, or other people, other contributors can create their issues as well. So let's create one basic issue in this. So let me just create test one and issue one. So from here you can create new issue so that other contributors can see what your issue is and they can communicate with you through this particular issue panel. They can talk what the issue is, and let's suppose if somebody wants to take this issue, take this particular issue and work on it. So if you wanted to work on any particular issue, don't just directly start contributing, or don't just directly start working on that particular issue. It's very basic rule that first you should ask for that particular issue or that particular mentor or maintainer of that project that, hey, can I work on this issue? So this is a basic rule of contribution. First, you ask whether that particular issue is open or you can work on that, and then that maintainer of repository can assign you that issue, and then only you should work on that issue, right? So we'll make a basic change with this issue. So we'll add few things over here. So first of all, this particular repository is not present in my local machine, right? There is nothing like test2 file in my over here desktop. So in order to contribute to this, or in order to add files to this, I have to first get this particular repository or pull this particular repository to my local machine. So how can I do that is by pulling the or pulling this particular repository or cloning the repository. So there is one. Let me just go to the desktop version, or let's not go to the desktop version. CD get. You can make a repository to any particular folder. That's not an issue. So to get a repository clone in your local machine, you have to use the get clone method, get clone command. So we'll use that get clone and that particular repository link. So we'll copy this link from over here, right? So once you do that and press enter, then it will create the copy of that repository in your local machine, whatever that path is. So it's created the copy. So we'll go to that folder. Okay. So wait a second. Okay. So we got our folder. Let me just open it locally in folder as well. Git project test2, and yeah, over here we got our test2, and this is our project that we just created, right? This is just a sample project to show you all. Now what we'll do that we wanted to change something in our GitHub, right? In our GitHub source code. So what we'll do is that we'll just change in here. Let's suppose I put Akshay. Inshallah. Okay. So I changed text from this particular README file. Now GitHub track each and every changes and put that changes into a stack of changes. Now whenever you change something from your project, then you have to add that change into the stack of the Git. So let's suppose you in order to see whether whether there are any changes that is not added in the stack of the Git, so you have to use the get status command. So let's suppose use the get status command, then it will show that this changes, this file, readme file, is changed, but it will not added in the get stack command, get stack, whatever that is tag. So in order to add this file in the change stack, so what you have to do, you have to use the get add command. There are two options, whether you can add that change file in the get stack, or whether you can restore your previous version of that file. So we don't want to restore our previous version. We wanted to keep this file and wanted to add this changes into our new commit. So to do that, we'll use get add, and we will name that particular file name. Now here you can simply put that file name, or you can also put dot command. Now what this dot actually will do is that it will basically add all the files to the start, right? So for now, let's suppose we just use our file name. So it will add all these things. Let's use our git status again. So now you can see our modifier file is now added, and it's not untracked. It's tracked by our Git version controlling tool. So now we wanted to push this particular change to our main remote repository. So in order to do that, we have to first commit all the changes that we done. So to commit our changes, there is one command called get commit, then my -m and your message. So this particular message will going to be displayed over here in the comment message that what this commit actually did. So you have to set a relevant message to this in each comment. You are not supposed to type test or sample, because this particular message is going to be very important in Git history, right? So I'll add it. I will add here that I added few text. Okay, that's a relevant text. Okay, so our commit is added to the main branch, right? So you can see how many branch we have. Okay, so let me just. Okay, so now we added our commit, and now this particular commit is not pushed to our remote repository. We have to push that to the remote repository with the push command. We use git push. You can simply use git push if you wanted to push to the origin, right? And you can use git push origin as well, and the branch name, which branch you wanted to push to the remote repository. So now currently main branch is pushed to our remote repository. So over here you can see the changes that we done, right? So yeah, so we did one task is that we created a repository, we cloned that repository in our local machine, and then we did some changes into it, and then we push back those changes to this remote repository. Now let's see how we can do the contribution to others project. But before that, I'll give you a few minutes to do this particular thing. I hope you are also doing this with me. But if you have any questions, you can ask me right now. I'll wait for a few minutes. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so let me open another repository of my other account so that we can show you how you can contribute to other projects. So I created a sample repository here as well, right? So over here you can see there is one readme file, and now we will clone this readme file in the same way that we did with our own personal project, right? So we'll clone this readme file, then we will add some features to it, we will add some text to it, and then we'll make a repository, a pull request, and yeah, I mean that's what we'll do. So in order to clone the repository, you have to copy the URL. Okay. So let's make a clone. cd dot dot then get clone. But sorry, I made a mistake. Before cloning the repository, you don't have to copy this particular path directly. First, you have to fork the repository. Like I already fork. Let's suppose I take this URL from open in my account. So you have to first fork the repository in your personal account. Once you did clone in your GitHub account, then you have to copy that URL. You are not supposed to copy the URL from remote repository or whoever that owns the repository, right? You don't have access to their repository. You can't push that. So you have to copy this particular URL from repository view fork. So after fork, you have to copy this URL. Then only you can clone the repository. So let's now clone. Okay, test one is already exists. That means I already clone the repository over here. So let me just delete this. Okay, okay. So it is cloned now. Here you can see all the changes that we did. Test added Rutik. Okay. So these are the changes that already done in the remote repository. Now what we'll do is that we will do some changes in our repository, and then we will make a pull request of our main branch. Now again, I'm saying that you are not supposed to commit anything to the main branch ever. Before committing anything, before making any changes, first you have to make new branch, and then only you do all the changes in that branch. So over here you can see I created a new branch. I will again show you how to create a new branch. So in order to create a new branch, there is a command called git checkout, right? So git checkout -b. So -b will do create a new branch. So give whatever name you want. Let's suppose I will give new 2. So it's created a new branch. Now whatever changes I wanted to do, I will do in that particular branch only. So this is a basic rule, or you can say don't ever commit in the main branch. Whenever you wanted to make a new pull request or wanted to add new feature, just make another branch and do whatever you wanted to do in that branch. And if you wanted to make another pull request, then do that. Let me tell you my own mistake. Like when I started with contribution, I also didn't know that we have to make another pull request and another branch for each time. So let me show you my own mistake. Uh, just a second. Okay, so these are all my pull requests. So here it is. Okay, so this is my first pull request that I did, and I committed all my I push all my commits to the master branch, and the first pull request was fine. It worked perfectly. But in the second pull request, I also committed to the same branch, like in the master branch, and all my previous commits from the first pull request got replicated in the second pull request, right? I mean, that's obvious. And that is the reason why my whole Git history got so messed up. So if you don't wanted to do the same mistake, so please don't do that. I mean, just whenever you wanted to create or add new features to any particular remote repository, just create a new branch and then do whatever you wanted to do in that particular branch. Okay, so we will also do that. I think we created a new branch also. So let's do some changes over here. So I will delete all this thing and I will say Akshay, because Akshay, and added some text. Okay. So we did some changes. Now in order to see what things are changed, use git status command. And I recommend all of you. Okay, so we didn't open the repository folder yet. Sorry. Git status -1. Okay. Git status. Yes. So we change this README file. Now we will add this particular file into our stack, right? So git add. Now this time I will use dot. So we added all this stuff to that. Okay, cool. So our changes are now done. We have to commit this changes, right? So I will use get commit -m message. You can put any message, but it should be relevant to what change you did. So I will say added few text. Okay. So we added one commit to this new two branch. Okay. So now we have to push this particular commit that we added to our test branch or this new test branch. Okay. So in order to do that, what we have to do is that we have to use get push command, like get push origin and that branch name. Like it was, if I'm not wrong, new 2 or yes, new 2. Okay, so new 2 doesn't match. Oh, get push. You can directly use get push as well. Just to wait a second. I think I did some mistake. It should work. I don't know why. Fail to represent. Fail to push some reference. Okay. I think I did some mistake somewhere. Wait a second. Just give me some minutes. Okay, so all right. I did a mistake. I added the wrong link to the wrong link of the repository. Like I added the link of this remote repository, which access I don't have. That, and that is the reason why it showed me error. So you don't have to do the same mistake. Like you have to add the link to this repository. Like yeah. So right now I added the commits to the new branch, right? So whatever the commit we did on this, so once you added the commit to this branch or whatever you create your own branch, so you will get option here that compare and make pull request. And if you didn't get that option, you can create open the pull request from here as well. So you can select that option as well. Okay. Once you did that, all you have to do is that just make sure that your whatever your branch selected is right or not, and then you can create your pull request. Okay, so we created a pull request. It has a conflict with a remote repository, but that's completely fine. That's not an issue. But that's how you can make your own pull request. So let's see how you can take or you can merge your branch from upstream. So in order to do that, like let's suppose as you can see that here is one conflict we got into our repository is because our branch is not updated with the remote repository. So in that particular case, what you have to do is that you have to merge your particular branch or you have to update your branch with your remote repository. So how you can do that is that by first adding the upstream branch. To add the upstream branch, you have to do a get remote add upstream stream and whatever their link is. So we'll add this link. Okay, so upstream branch is already present. You can see that of all upstream branch as well, origin and all these things. So it's already added. So in order to fetch all these new update, you have to use get fetch command. Get fetch upstream, right? So it fetch the new branch, and in order to merge your branch, you have to use the merge command. So what this merge command will do that whatever the new commits that added to the remote repository, it will merge with your old branch and it will just make updated that branch. So let's do that. We'll use git merge upstream and our branch name, right? So there is nothing we can do. It's stating that if there is any changes, it will merge the conflicts like auto merging the conflict, merge conflict, auto merging. So there is one conflict still here, right? So if you have any conflict, you can solve that. So right now I'm getting one conflict in the pull request. So yeah. So that's how you can make a pull request in any particular repository. For today's session, we are only going to cover that. In next session, we are going to cover like how to make or how to resolve this kind of conflict if you get that in future. So in next session, we're going to cover that how to use merge and rebase and all those commands. So if you are interested in learning those topics, then do join those sessions. So for today's, this is it. I hope you like this session and thank you so much and bye bye.